Good afternoon. I read yesterday we've already had 2 heat-related deaths in the state, so I wanted our agency here today to talk to residents and visitors about being safe during this heat wave. I want to acknowledge Dr. Sarasa, our Health Commissioner, David McMillan, Director of OEM, Joanne Anthony, Director of MOSHA, Bart Wald, Deputy Director of Baltimore City Recreation and Parks, and the EMS Battalion Chief, Jolanda Johnson. I'm joined by city agencies who work together during periods of extreme heat to provide public messaging and education around extreme heat and to help our residents stay cool, safe, and healthy. An excessive heat wave warning and advisory or code red is in effect for the Baltimore area for the next several days. I urge everyone to take this heat wave seriously, and if you don't need to go outside, stay inside with air conditioning. Heat-related deaths are preventable, and I need everyone in Baltimore to work with us to ensure every resident is safe. Please seek medical assistance if you do not feel well. If you do not have air conditioning at home, stay on the lowest floor of your home, out of the sunshine, or consider visiting an air-conditioned facility, such as one of our city cooling centers. Most importantly, check regularly on family, friends, and neighbors who do not have air conditioning and who spend much of their time alone. We especially want to reach out to our older adults and other vulnerable population who are most at risk during these events. I know Artscape is this weekend, and we want everyone to come out and enjoy themselves, but we also want everyone to be safe in doing so. Be sure to check the forecast and drink lots of water. Now I want to introduce Dr. Sarasa, our Health Commissioner, who will talk a little more about the effects of extreme heat on health and tips for being safe during the heat wave.
Thank you, Mayor Young. As Mayor Young stated, an excessive heat warning and advisory is in effect for the Baltimore area for the next several days. As an urban area, Baltimore is highly susceptible to the heat island effect because of the many surfaces in the city that retain heat. Heat islands can exacerbate the impact of extreme heat, particularly for the young, the elderly, and those with chronic medical conditions or limited economic means. Heat can be dangerous. Heat is one of the leading weather-related killers in the United States, resulting in hundreds of fatalities each year and even more heat-related illnesses. Heat waves are becoming more common, lasting longer, and becoming more severe throughout the U.S. Nationally, it is estimated up to 1,300 lives are lost annually due to extreme heat events, and heat waves pose a public health threat. A code red extreme heat alert in Baltimore City is in effect, and this morning I extended the alert through Monday, July 22nd. On Code Red Extreme Heat Days, the city opens cooling centers at our senior centers and the Community Action Partnership Centers. Beginning today and through the weekend, 4 additional cooling centers will be opened by our nonprofit partner senior centers, and the Department of Recreation and Parks will open 9 locations today and Friday and 4 locations on Saturday. A full list and hours of operation are available on our website or by calling 311. I want to repeat the importance of taking this heat wave seriously. Dangerous heat and humidity is expected from Friday through Sunday, with heat indices forecasted between 105 and 115 degrees. The prolonged heat and humidity will become a significant threat to anyone exposed to heat for an extended period of time. Extended exposure to heat can have a cumulative effect on the body, meaning the body is unable to cool down sufficiently, which can result in further health complications. This is why it's important, as Mayor stated, to be a very good neighbor. Be on the lookout for anyone who needs help, specifically children, older adults, people without shelter, or anyone with chronic medical conditions. Check on your neighbors often, especially if they have not been seen in a while. I encourage residents to spend time in places with air conditions, such as our cooling centers or libraries during the heat wave. For information on where to find a cooling center near you, call 311 or go to our website, health.baltimorecity.gov/code-red-info. Even a short time in air conditioning can allow your body to recover from the effects of heat. Eat well-balanced, light, and regular meals. Avoid using salt tablets unless directed to do so by a physician. Drink plenty of water. Persons who have epilepsy or heart, kidney, or liver disease, those on fluid-restricted diets, and those who have a problem with fluid retention should consult a physician before increasing liquid intake. Limit intake of alcoholic and caffeinated beverages, and keep a wet cloth handy to cool off your skin. Bring pets indoors and give them plenty of fresh, cold water and protection from the heat and the sun. Pets can also suffer from heat-related illnesses. Make sure you know the signs of heat exhaustion, which include nausea, confusion, and heavy sweating. Heat exhaustion can be followed quickly by heat stroke, so it is essential to get medical care as soon as possible. The symptoms of heat stroke include hot, dry, flushed skin, nausea, and a rapid or slowed heart rate. If you suspect someone you know is suffering from this condition, get help immediately. Heat stroke can kill. Most importantly, stay cool. As I mentioned, additional cooling centers are open today through the weekend, and the full list is available on our website, health.baltimorecity.gov/code-red-info. Residents can also call 311 or 211 to be directed to the cooling center nearest you. Transportation to and from cooling centers will be available for eligible seniors through the CARE Taxi Card program. Seniors must be pre-enrolled and can call 410-664-1123 for further information. Now I'd like to introduce David McMillan, Director of the Mayor's Office of Emergency Management.
Good afternoon, everyone. So as you've heard from the Mayor and the Health Commissioner, we are currently in and will continue to be in an extreme heat event until this Monday. Everyone is at risk when temperatures are this high or at 90 degrees or above, but particularly the elderly and the young are most susceptible to heat and heat-related illnesses. Heat-related illnesses can cause serious injury or even death if unattended. As the emergency manager for the City of Baltimore, I support the Health Commissioner and the Mayor and BCHD's efforts to keep our citizens safe and cool during this extreme Code Red declaration. MOAM works with BCHD and other agencies and private partners like BG&E to ensure that our citizens have access to the resources and the information to be safe during this Code Red declaration. So a few points of advice. You might have heard some of these already. We want citizens to stay indoors if possible. If you don't have air conditioning available in your house, seek the lowest level of your house and stay cool there during this time. If you're going to go out in the heat, we have lots of good events to go to in the city, lots of great things in the community. We still want you to be safe, dress for the heat, wear lightweight, light-colored clothing. The light coloring of the clothing can reflect away some of the sun's energy and keep you cool. It's a good idea sometimes to wear hats or even use a sun umbrella. Drink plenty of water. You're going to keep hearing this, but carry water or even juice or any fluid. Drink that continuously, even if you don't feel exhausted or thirsty. It's important to stay hydrated and avoid alcohol and caffeine, as those will dehydrate you. You want to slow down and avoid strenuous activity. If you must do strenuous activity, the best hours of the day are when it's coolest, typically from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., but generally it's just best to avoid it and just relax during this period. Be a good neighbor, so go ahead and check on anyone in your neighborhood that you know that might be in need, that's elderly, younger, anyone at risk. Check on them and make sure that they're safe. If you're interested in more ways to help, you can go to our website, emergency.baltimorecity.gov/involvement, and learn more about our programs like CERT. That's our CERT teams, Community Emergency Response Teams. There are groups of individuals trained to go out in the community and help their neighbors. So if you want to join that, go ahead and go to that link. If you see someone during this event who looks to be in obvious distress, please don't be afraid to call 911 and get them help. If you know of someone living in conditions that seem too hot or unsafe, the city and our partners in the state have a number of resources and services available to help with long-run fixes like weatherization, energy assistance, and housing rehabilitation. You can call 211 with the United Way of Central Maryland and be connected with services, or call the city's LIGHT program at 410-396-3023, again 410-396-3023. Or you can call the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development at 1-855-583-8976. Again, 1-855-583-8976. So in closing, be safe and be careful. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Wall from Baltimore City Recreation and Parks to speak to their efforts.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Thank our partners for allowing us to come in and present what we're doing with regards to Code Red and Baltimore City Rec and Parks. First off, our pools will be extending their hours by 2 hours each day. Our park pools will be open 12:15 to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday when it's a Code Red, and on Sundays they'll be open 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Neighborhood pools will be open 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Neighborhood pools are closed on Saturday except for 2. We open 1 to 8 at Maccabee Pool as well as Ambrose Kennedy. So that's the update on the pools. We're collaborating with the health department with regards to cooling centers. We have 8 centers that will be maybe 9 tomorrow. Roosevelt is suffering a power outage, Roosevelt Rec Center, so that was one of the 9. So right now we'll have 8 open tomorrow from 8 to 8 with regards to coming in, getting some air conditioning as well as water. And on Saturday we'll have 4 rec centers open for cooling centers as well. It is our commitment at Rec and Parks to be creative as much as we can during any type of forecast with regards to keeping our citizens young and old busy during these extreme forecasted hours that we're dealing with going through until Monday. One of the events we'll be having, just to highlight that, at Roosevelt Pool on Saturday, we'll be having a Christmas in July. From what I understand, Santa Claus will be making an appearance for an hour. Despite the North Pole being 72 degrees today, which is 36 degrees above their average. So there you have it, global warming at its best. So it's very dangerous out there. Stay hydrated, be cool, but at the most be safe. That's the most important thing. So thank you very much on behalf of our director, Reginald Moore. Stay updated with us at bcrp.baltimorecity.gov, and we're looking forward to a long and safe summer season. Thank you very much.
Well, I guess I'm the one that's going to introduce our homeless director, Jurgen. Everybody's supposed to introduce him.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for being here with us today to raise awareness about this very important event. In response to the Code Red, the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services will be dispatching our homeless outreach teams beginning at 6 a.m. every morning that the Code Red is in effect. From 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., we will be across the city of Baltimore encouraging homeless individuals to come into shelter, to come into cooling centers. We will additionally be passing out water, as our health commissioner has indicated. It is extremely important for our vulnerable populations to stay hydrated during this very extreme weather conditions. As I've said before, we know in the Mayor's Office of Homeless Services that we can't do this alone, so we rely heavily on our partners as well as our concerned citizens across the city of Baltimore to help us get the word out. So we encourage you, if you are encountering individuals who are experiencing an episode of homelessness or staying in places that are not meant for habitation, be that abandonments or on the street, to please contact us via our email address, which is homelessoutreach@baltimorecity.gov. We will respond immediately, going out to dispatch an outreach team to assist homeless individuals to either provide them with water, take them to cooling centers, or provide them with shelter. During the Code Red, our shelters will additionally be open 24 hours a day, offering shelter to anyone who is seeking refuge from the heat. Our cooling centers as well are open, our CAP centers, and our day programs will be open and available to anyone who is experiencing an episode of homelessness. Again, please assist us in getting the word out, and if you would like for an outreach team to go out and check on just a wellness check for someone who is experiencing homelessness, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at homelessoutreach@baltimorecity.gov. I'm going to turn it over to Battalion Chief Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Battalion Chief Jelonda Johnson, Baltimore City Fire Department. On any given day, as we all know, the Baltimore City Fire Department is extremely busy serving the citizens of Baltimore in many different capacities. And with the summer months approaching us, and in here, it's no different. And we always want to make sure that our residents are safe. So during the summer months, and particularly this weekend, the heat indices, as stated before, will reach over 100. We want to make sure that our city residents remain vigilant and take care to hydrate themselves. And I just want to give a few tips to all of our residents. specifically our older adults and our younger population. We want to make sure that if at all possible, they stay indoors on days like Saturday, where the heat indices will be over 100. If they must go outside, we want to make sure that they limit the amount of time that they spend outside. If that's not possible, they need to utilize the various cooling centers throughout the city of Baltimore. Before they leave, they must remain hydrated. They must hydrate themselves before they leave, eat a light and well-balanced meal. As far as clothing, make sure that they wear light clothing and breathable fabric. You want them to use cooling rags if they can walk around with them on their necks, things like that. And again, utilize the local cooling centers. Take a cool shower or bath when they get back in or even before they leave. And everybody is busy. We also want to make sure that our parents understand too, to make sure that we remain very vigilant when it comes to leaving our children in unattended vehicles or leaving our children in vehicles, period. Even 5 minutes is too long. So this weekend, as we know, Baltimore is hosting Artscape. So if you're headed out, please make sure that you drink plenty of fluids prior to leaving your home, while you are there, and even afterwards. And for more information on our cooling tips, please visit the Baltimore City Fire Department's main website. And so in conclusion, again, we stress in the Baltimore City Fire Department, we want to make sure that our residents are safe at all times. And so please stay hydrated, utilize your local cooling centers, and utilize the other agencies that have spoken before and will go after me. And all residents, be safe. Thank you.
Who's next? That's it? Oh, any questions? Any questions about that? Yeah.
My name's Dan Oda from the Capital News Service. You said you're opening more cooling centers this week. At least the ones you have listed on your website or on the press release are only open till 4:30. We know that it tends to be the peak. I mean, there's no real respite of the heat at nighttime. Row houses tend to reach their peak temperature late evening. Why are they not open later and into the evening and open?
Rec Center's supposed to be open, right?
Yeah, rec centers are open tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And some are on Saturday will be open till 8 p.m. as well.
Yeah.
And what you have to understand is we have external partners. We can't tell them how long to keep. They're partners, but we can't tell them how long to keep their facilities open.
And likewise, we do have senior centers that are open until 7 p.m. and on Saturday, the hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Homeless drop-in centers are also open until 7 p.m. and homeless shelters will be open 24 hours a day.
I saw on Twitter that Hampton Center the AC was out.
It is back as of this morning.
And as you know, with this kind of extreme weather, air-conditioned units just go out, even in our own personal homes. So we have to when we find out that they're out, we have to get the repairs and get companies in. But you know, companies are really busy during this time. So thank you for getting that taken care of as quickly as you have.
Are you guys going to do any extra checks on larger nursing homes in the area to make sure that the temperatures are acceptable to those vulnerable people?
The Baltimore City Fire Department, I can tell you, participates in what we call ACE sweeps, and that's when we go around and install smoke detectors and things of the like. And during that time, we have that and an EMS person that basically does the checks that you're speaking of. And it's the larger facilities and it's private homes too, to ensure that everybody is safe. And any questions or concerns that they generally have, they're answered at that time. And we also give them a magnet to put on their refrigerator for any questions that they may have and numbers that they may utilize even after business hours.
Thank you.